Glitch number 1. Back in the 1880s, Tombstone, Arizona had the Birdcage Theatre, one of those places that couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Saloon, brothel, theater, casino. It just said yes to all of it. Down in the basement, they ran the longest poker game in history. 8 years straight, no breaks. You bought in for $1,000, and which back then was sell the family farm money. And you played until you either lost, got shot, or both. And according to the locals, some of those players never left. People swear they've seen ghostly cowboys still holding cards, smelled cigar smoke when nobody's smoking, even heard poker chips clinking in empty rooms. Basically, it's Vegas with fewer lights and way more dead people. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't set out to add a haunted saloon, but it accidentally nailed the vibe with one glitch. In Valentine or Blackwater, you can be halfway through a poker hand when an NPC casually starts floating. Not fast, not panicked, just slowly levitating like it's the most normal thing in the world. Still holding his cards, still staring you down like, yeah, I've got a full house, and I'm ascending. And the best part? You can rope them back down. I'm serious. Mid-hand, you can just lasso this guy out of the sky like he's a runaway balloon at a rodeo. Everyone else doesn't care. Keeps playing. No, what the hell was that? Just business as usual. What's actually happening is the adjust your seat animation breaks. And instead of shifting an inch, the game keeps moving the model up until he's part of the ceiling decor. But because it happens mid-game, it feels like Rockstar just patched a ghost straight into the saloon. So yeah, in Tombstone, the spirit stuck around for the cards. In RDR2, the ghosts are just bad code, with one hell of a poker face. Glitch number 2. Back in the 1920s, Chicago was basically one big open-world crime simulator, except instead of pressing save game, you'd bribe a police chief. And if anyone mastered the art of doing illegal things where the law couldn't touch them, it was the North Side Gang. Led by Dean O'Banion, Jaime Weiss, and later Bugs Moran, these guys didn't just move beer and whiskey during Prohibition. They moved it smart. They controlled blocks of Chicago so tightly that in some neighborhoods, if the cops wanted to raid them, they'd have to come through hostile territory. Or try rooftops. The Northsiders knew the high ground was king. They'd set up lookout points, stash routes, and even conduct deals in spots where the police simply couldn't get to them fast enough. It was out-of-reach, law-breaking Prohibition style. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 has its own version of this, thanks to a very broken mission glitch. During the Artist's Way, Part 3 in St. Denis, if you wander up through the art gallery to the very top floor, you can step onto the rooftop and instantly enter what I can only describe as God mode for crime. You can cause chaos, attack civilians, and your wanted level doesn't even twitch. Witnesses disappear, the cops never climb up, and it's like the St. Denis Police Department collectively agreed, yeah, the rooftop arrests aren't in our job description. Sure, a rare cop might spot you from below, but even if they do, just deal with them and poof, wanted level gone. Meanwhile, random civilians will sometimes storm up from the gallery to fistfight you, which honestly feels like bonus entertainment. What's happening is the mission's boundary system treats that rooftop as off-limits for police AI. They literally can't pathfind there. So much like the North Side Gang using elevated and untouchable positions in real life. In RDR2, you've got a glitchy little rooftop empire where the law can't follow. Moral of the story? In both 1920s Chicago and glitchy St. Denis, crime really does pay if you do it from the top floor. Glitch number 3. Back in the 1890s, France had one of the most infamous instant reputation wipe moments in history, the Dreyfus Affair. Captain Alfred Dreyfus was a decorated army officer with a spotless record. Then, almost overnight, he went from national hero to convicted traitor, all because of a single piece of dodgy evidence. It was a complete misread. The real culprit was someone else. But by the time the truth came out, his name had been dragged through the mud for years. That's basically what Red Dead Redemption 2 pulls on you with one very broken glitch. In the mission A Fork in the Road, if your honor meter is high, there's a rare bug that'll absolutely wreck it. You walk into St. Denis, you meet Dr. Barnes, you get the diagnosis, and as soon as you step outside, boom, your honor plummets straight into the negatives. No shootouts, no crimes, just a sudden brutal reputation crash like you kicked a nun off a train. And it doesn't stop there. In some cases, every mission you try after that will briefly bump your honor up, then slam it right back down. It's like the game decided, yeah, you're the bad guy now, forever. The cause? The game misreads the flashback sequence after the doctor scene as a negative moral action. basically punishing you for Arthur's memories. In other words, it thinks you committed a crime against your own brain. So yeah, in real life, false accusations can ruin a career in a heartbeat. In RDR2, one bad memory can turn the noblest cowboy into public enemy number 1, without you ever firing a shot. Glitch number 4.
Leave that behind.
Forget that. It's gone. You won't talk.
In 1872, a cargo ship called the Mary Celeste was found drifting in the Atlantic. Everything looked normal, sails up, cargo intact, the crew's stuff still on board. But the crew, gone, vanished. The ship was basically running fine without the people who were supposed to be running it, which is unsettling on the ocean and hilarious in a video game. Because in Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a mission that does almost the exact same thing, but way dumber. In banking, the old American art, you can pull off a glitch where you kill every single gang member in the mission, and the game doesn't care. The secret? Hit a specific spot on the lead wagon with shotgun incendiary rounds. The driver panics, bails out, the wagon stops, and the rest of the gang's AI just freezes like they're buffering on bad internet. From there, you can casually toss fire bottles and wipe the whole crew out. They're gone, cooked, extra crispy, and yet the mission just sits there, still acting like they're alive and ready to rob the bank with you. I've literally stood in the middle of a smoking crater where my gang used to be while the game's like, all right, follow your friends. Of course, you can't finish the mission after this. You've basically broken it beyond repair. But for a few glorious minutes, it's like the game is running on pure denial. So yeah, the Mary Celeste sailed without a crew. In RDR2, you can start a bank heist with nobody left to rob the bank. In both cases, you're just left looking around like, so it's just me then? Glitch number 5. In real life, if something can't see you, it can't hit you, which is why smugglers, thieves, and even soldiers have used some wild improvised shields over the years. People have crawled behind crates, hidden in hay bales, even pushed furniture down streets to block sniper sightlines. If the view is blocked, the danger's blocked. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 takes that same principle and cranks the absurdity to 11. There's an invisible sniper guarding New Austin early in the game. Step into his range and you're instantly dead. No warning, no bullet trail, just welcome to New Austin, now get out. But thanks to this glitch, you can stroll right through his kill zone if you carry a dead animal in front of your face. Yep, that's it. Grab a pronghorn or a cougar carcass, hoist it up like you're delivering groceries, and suddenly you're bulletproof. You can waltz across the river into New Austin like you've got a force field, except your force field is slowly decomposing. The setup's a little more involved. You get wanted in Strawberry, let the law chase you to tall trees, lose your wanted level at Manzanita Post, then head for the lower Montana River. Dismount, pick up your trusty meat shield, and make sure the camera is angled so the carcass covers Arthur's head. The game thinks the sniper's got no shot, so you're untouchable. It's ridiculous, but it works. In real life, people have used sandbags or armored plates to block snipers. In RDR2, you use a dead deer. So yeah, history has the Trojan horse. RDR2 has the Trojan elk. Both get you past the enemy. Only one smells this bad. Glitch number 6. In the real world, people have been sneaking into places they're not supposed to be for as long as gates have existed. Music festivals, people hop fences or slip in behind staff. Sports games, someone always accidentally ends up courtside without a ticket. Even border crossings, when history is full of stories where the trick wasn't fighting your way in. It was just making someone else open the door and walking through like you belong there. In the same way, Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a glitch that's basically the Old West version of that. Normally, you can't get into Blackwater or New Austin early in the story without being greeted by either the invisible insta-kill sniper or enough lawmen to start a small war. But during the mission, Angelo Bronte, a man of honor, you can slip past all of that. Here's how. After you recover the stash, get spotted by the law during the escape, and instead of riding back to Dutch like a good little outlaw, you just don't. You head straight for Blackwater or New Austin instead. When you get there, it's weirdly empty. In Blackwater, there are barely any lawmen. In New Austin, the sniper is completely disabled. It's like you've wandered into the map before Rockstar finished populating it. Permanent nighttime, heavy fog, almost no NPCs. Feels less like a town and more like the set of a ghost movie. There's a catch, though. If you accidentally alert the few policemen that do spawn, you'll fail the mission and lose all progress since you started. But if you keep it cool, you can wander around the forbidden parts of the map like you own the place. So yeah, in real life, people sneak into VIP sections. In RDR2, you crash entire regions of the map before the game is ready for you. One's a cheap thrill. The other's, well, also a cheap thrill, but with way more fog. Glitch number 7. When World War II ended in 1945, most soldiers went home. Hiroru Onoda did not get the memo. This Japanese soldier kept hiding in the jungles of the Philippines, carrying out missions for nearly 30 years because he thought the war was still going. Farmers tried to tell him it was over. People dropped leaflets. Even planes flew by with announcements. Onoda's response? Yeah, nice try, enemy propaganda. It took his old commander flying out in 1974 to tell him face-to-face that it was time to clock out. And that's exactly the kind of I'm with you forever energy you can accidentally create in Red Dead Redemption 2. Here's how. Lure enemies or the law into camp. Normally, this triggers that you've led trouble here, fade to black, and a respawn. But if you blow yourself up with dynamite right before the black screen hits, because obviously the game glitches and the gang members who came to help you just never leave. From then on, they're stuck to you like bad side quests. Ride into town? They're with you. Start a fist fight? They're in it. Stop to pick herbs? Yep, still there. They'll shoot on sight, loot everything, revive their horses. Basically a roaming outlaw daycare where you're the only responsible adult. They're invincible, they never get tired, and if you pull this off in the epilogue, you can even have Rufus the dog as part of the hit squad. Canadian YouTuber Simon Pham managed to do this with 13 companions at once. 13! That's not backup, that's a traveling apocalypse. So yeah, Onoda fought for 3 decades after his war ended. In RDR2, your bugged gang will follow you forever, picking fights, looting corpses, and making sure stealth is never an option again. Glitch number 8.
Here we go.
There was this audacious escape during World War II where prisoners slipped out of Auschwitz by hitching a ride in a horse cart. One guy wore an SS uniform and just walked himself out the gate. No gunfire, no tunnels. Just pure confidence in a disguise tighter than your stealth role in RDR2. If you've ever thought, I wish sneaking into New Austin was that easy, well, Rockstar sort of made that happen, by accident. Here's how you actually pull it off. Find a covered wagon or buggy near St. Denis, kill the camera follow for full-out undercover mode, and just drive. Because the wagon covers Arthur's upper body like a mobile Taco Bell vault, the invisible sniper doesn't recognize you. Suddenly, you're crossing into New Austin like a VIP-only guest, completely undetected, until the next lawman rolls up confused. In short, in real history, someone escaped Auschwitz using a fake uniform and a wagon. In RDR2, you do it with an actual covered wagon. Silent, sneaky, and surprisingly effective.